Hey guys. So what do you mean by like I'm here to talk about Destiny and Marathon. As you see, I have both the games open because I'm gonna talk about a few points. And I am starting this off with calling out a streamer, content creator who I love and I like, and I think he's making a stupid decision out of pure spite and pure anger. I'm gonna call it cross because and I don't usually do this. I have no reason to be talking about somebody who has nigh infinite more subs than I do. But I'm going to do this because I think he's hurting a game I care about that he cares about. He says he cares about. And I believe that he does. I believe that he does. I believe Cross does care about this. Because it is a game that definitely helped have him surge in popularity. But I see my stream has frozen. Hold on, I see my stream has frozen. Let me fix this. But y'all know. So the reason I also bring up Cross is because Cross likes to talk about RuneScape a lot and how that is a game he cares about and has always cared about. And I always find this fun. Cross brings up RuneScape all the time. And it got me thinking, like, oh, what with all this drama going on, I'm like, and I'm mad at him. I'm like, do you even care about this game? Because you're refusing to play Marathon out of pure spite? Out of pure spite and no other actual reason? You're just mad that it isn't Destiny, and that's what you're upset about. And that's all you're upset about. You're just mad that it isn't Destiny. Which usually I'd be like, oh, I'm usually down for some petty shit and not playing Marathon because it's not Destiny. I'd usually be down for something like that. But in this situation where I see a large company that bought a company I love, a large company that I hate, might I add, bought a company that I love, I expect us to have to work above and beyond to get what we want from Bungie now, because they have to do everything through Sony. Especially now regarding the fact that Bungie basically sold the devil. That's how I see this, the whole Sony transaction. That's besides the point. I think what Cross is encouraging is going to end up killing Bungie, not just killing Destiny, but killing Bungie. And if Bungie dies, there is no D3. There's not just no Marathon. There's not just no other, maybe some other new IP down the line. There is no Destiny 3. If this happens, if Bungie ends up getting the plug pulled on it because Sony saw them as an unworthy investment, and they were sinking more money into them now, and they realized, hey, you're useless. We don't need you. And, I just want to prove what I'm saying about me caring about this game. So I'm going to open the Legacy tab, which I haven't done any raids in D1 because I was a squeaker. But look at that. 9/13/2015. I will say it took me a long ass time to actually get through this main story of Destiny. It took me a long ass time. Because I had swapped classes midway through. I was originally a Warlock. I swapped the Hunter. When did D1 come out? When did D1? Ignore the guilty gear. Destiny 1 release date. D1 came out. Wow. So I almost got into Destiny a year later. I had played its demo, though, when it came out, when their demo dropped. But I had sunk a lot of time into this game. A lot of time into Destiny 1. This is a game I care about. I've played this game, I want to say, since I was 7. Since I was 9, right? Wait, no. Math is not mathing. Hold on. Was I 9? What? 1 and 07. 2 and 08. 3 and 09. 4 and 10. 5 and 11. 6 and 12. 7 and 13. So no, I was 8. My fault. I was 8 when D1 came out. I was 9 when I finally got through his campaign. That's besides the point. This is a game I've played for more than half of my goddamn life. So, no shit, I care about it. This is my RuneScape. Cross always talks about RuneScape being his childhood game. This is my RuneScape. This is what I grew up playing. I want to see this franchise live on. I want to see it succeed, and I understand to do that, we don't just have to invest in Destiny, we have to invest in Bungie as a whole, which sadly includes Marathon, which some of you may not like. However, I'm also going to say this. I like Marathon. It's actually the first extraction shooter that I've actually enjoyed playing every once in a while. Also notice that, once in a while. It's also the only extraction shooter I feel like you can take breaks from and not get leagues and leagues behind everyone else. Once again, besides the point, I firmly believe that you, right now, if you're a Marathon fan, you're actually not that big of a part of the issue. But if you're a Destiny fan who's swearing against Marathon, you are currently the problem. You think Bungie wanted to do this. However, Bungie is probably being shrunk as a company because they are not making the funds to condone being as large as a company as they are. If Marathon succeeded, which, once again, most of its success is due to, one, it being an extraction shooter, which I don't think it should have been. But I like it. It's the first extraction shooter I like, so I'm not that mad about that. But it's, once again, mostly due to the Destiny fan base. I feel like those Bungie devs that are saying it's the fans that are killing this game for once, because it is. Y'all aren't killing this game, but y'all are killing this franchise, this company, because it's not that they don't do what you want them to do at this point, which was what it was a few years ago, I will admit. It is, they can't. They can't do what you want them to do because they're not being allowed to, because of poor decisions made by Pete Parsons that have put us in a mess where we sadly have to appease a different company now. Company who is not nice, white, have despised for years, not just as an Xbox fan, but as a Final Fantasy fan who played on Xbox, or as a From Software fan whose favorite game is Bloodborne, who also plays on an Xbox. Yes, I own a PS4. Yes, it has one game on it. Yes, it is Bloodborne. That is the only reason I own that console. That's besides the point. If we want to see a D3 even be a possibility, we need to invest in Bungie as a company. The best thing you can do right now for Bungie, and to get Sony's attention, even though petitions probably don't really work in their eyes, is invest in Bungie. Genuinely buy their stuff, buy their games. God, for God's sake, on June 9th, if we get new cosmetics, buy those. Buy that shit from the Everywhere store. If you have the money. And if you haven't bought Marathon, buy Marathon. It's like $35. I think it's going to be free play for the update this Tuesday. if I'm correct, I heard rumors about that it's going to go free to play for like a week or a few days. So try it out. If you like it, buy it. Buy it. Invest. Buy the battle pass, the new battle pass, for God's sake. Give Bungie money so Sony sees them as profitable to minimize this quote-unquote risk that Sony sees for making a D3. That's what we have to do. That is what we have to do if we want to see this work. Because, I mean, we saw this in the recent post from Former, and like, Bungie has been pitching D3 since Final Shape. And Sony is scared due to cost. We need to show them that the cost is way surpassed the profit they would make if they make a Destiny 3. I'll probably make a separate video talking about my D3 wish list, which originally was D3 doesn't exist and that D2 just gets massive overhaul updates of a regular MMO. But I want a new platform, you know. I want a new thing to build this dream MMO on, which I'll talk about that later. I'll do a different video for that, probably. Also, I'm trying to stream again. I've been busy with work. I'm out of school now, but I've been busy with work. Sadly, I'm a closer, so most of my streams probably will stop around 2 p.m. Central Middle Supplies Point. Follow me on Twitch, Prof_Ham. That's besides the point. We want to see Bungie succeed, so we get a D3. What's even funny is Cross said this during the Marathon Server Slam, that people need to play Marathon. And now he's going against what he said because he's upset. I will say, Destiny fans, y'all can grieve. Y'all can grieve all you want. But not investing in Bungie is the worst decision you can make if you truly want a Destiny 3. That's all I'm going to say there. That's why I'm mad at Cross and a plethora of other streamers. I felt more like Actix and a few others like Dado and them who were seeing this work in tears. They were crying. I grew up initially, and I'm gonna go into starting to cry now as well. But I'm gonna go into, like, you know, my experience with Destiny growing up. I grew up, you know, watching Mr. Fruit, Dream Team, Dado, all these people show me how to play this game in a way I couldn't because I was a squeaker and I didn't have a large group of friends who played Destiny. It was before it was cross-platform, and I actually had a raid team technically. It's just we were split 3 and 3. I had 3 buddies. I had 2 other buddies on Xbox, not including myself, so 3 on Xbox, and I had 3 buddies who played on PlayStation. If we stuck it out a little longer, we could have finally raided together, but sadly, most of them dropped Destiny by like or so, Cyrus. So that's besides the point. It like, this game means a whole awful lot to me, and to see these streamers, that these content creators that I think would care about this game and this company and this franchise actively make a poor decision out of anger, out of something that isn't even the thing they're mad at's fault. People say that if you invest in Marathon, you're decreasing the chances of Destiny 3. Are you? Technically, yes. If Marathon succeeds, why wouldn't they just make a new Marathon? Why don't we tell them why they don't make a new Marathon? That's the whole point of the fucking petition. We invest in Marathon, but expect a D3 out of this. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to let them know. That's the whole point of the goddamn petition. But if you do not invest in Bungie by playing Marathon somewhat and maybe buying the Battle Pass, at least it's like $8. I'm correct, it's not even a $10 Battle Pass. If you don't have the money, that's fine. It's fine. Just try and play the game. Try and get people to play the game if you own it. And if you don't, try and get it. Because we need people to invest in Bungie again if we ever want to see a D3. And we need the Destiny community to be able to tolerate, probably for a few years, at most 2, if I'm correct. What? Rise of Iron came out in 2016. I want to say Destiny 2 came out in 2018? Destiny came out a year later. Damn, really? Kid brain me. I pre-ordered that game, but I pre-ordered this game, by the way. And I never even got compensated for when they made it free to play. Am I still kind of mad about that? Yeah, but forgive and forget. It's been a good few years now. But, like, at best, we have to wait an extra year. 1 extra year. At best, D3 comes out June 9th. As well. June 9th, 2027. It's announced maybe at like Sony State of Play or something, at a random State of Play midway through the year. You know, State of Play is usually in summer, but in fact, they have one coming out. There will be no D3 announcement. Sadly, might be another Marathon trailer. Piss y'all off a little bit. But you need to realize we have to invest in Marathon. And like we gotta. So we gotta. Like, if you can, please invest in Bungie. On June 9th, if they release cosmetics, new cosmetics in the Eververse store, buy those goddamn cosmetics if you can. Show that, and get on Destiny 2 on June 9th. Get on Marathon on June 2nd. You know, you have a week to wait before the final update comes out. Play Marathon while you wait. Play Marathon while you wait. On June 2nd. I'm happy because I have about 4 updates lined up for the next few weeks. On Tuesday. Marathon gets a Season 2. Playing, and that comes out next Tuesday. This upcoming Tuesday. Destiny 2 gets its final update, which is sad, but it's content. It's up for me to enjoy for a week. Jason Voorhees gets added to DVD. It was kind of unexpected. I need to play some of that. I'm gonna do some recording sessions of custom games with some high school friends, I think, because we're all trying to start playing DVD. Let's do that. And then Skatari comes out in Dark Tide, which is I'm a big AdMech guy. I'm able to play all these different games, but most of the reason people aren't playing Marathon on June 2nd is because you're mad at Marathon for existing. When you need to use your brain and realize that if you invest in Marathon, it actually might increase our chances of getting D3 if we are vocal about us wanting a D3. Which we are. Bungie knows we want it. We just have to show that it's not a risky take for Sony to do. Please, cross every content creator that's swearing against Marathon right now. I know me and my sub 100 viewership probably can't sway you to play Marathon on June 2nd, but like, please, just give it a shot again. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all, God's sake, shoot something in my comments, man. Like, someone, talk in my comments. I'll argue. I'll debate. I'll do that. I'll have a civil debate with you about why you should invest in Marathon for the sake of Bungie as a company. Please, I don't want to see this franchise or this company die. Please invest in this game. Please. Invest in Marathon, invest in Bungie. Don't invest in this game, invest in this company. So we can see it succeed again. Like the golden age of 2014 with D1. I don't want to see another Moist Critical video talking about how Destiny was the biggest fucking fumble of the year, or fumble of the last decade. I don't want to see video talk about that. I want to see another content creator like Moist Critical talk about that. I want to hear that if D3 comes out. I want to hear D3 is one of the greatest fucking games ever. Not one of the greatest games it could have been. I want to hear it be one of the greatest games ever. I want to hear Destiny be hailed as a wonderful franchise and it become one of those MMOs that just stands the test of time. I want it to be like, wow. I want it to be like 14. I want it to be like, for God's sake, RuneScape. I want to see it last for 30, 40 years at a minimum. I want to see it have so much DLC that people complain that it technically costs $1,000 to play now. I don't care if it gets a subscription. I want to see Destiny reach that point. So please, please invest in this game. Not just this game, Bungie again. Maybe Sony will actually throw us a bone.